Hi travelers, Tara here, and this is going to be the November elemental reading for the air signs. We're going to get straight into the reading. Um, I am still running the 20 for 20 special, which ends Saturday at midnight, after which time I will not be accepting any more bookings. To go over to the website to take a look at the products that I offer or to join the website membership, simply click on the little I information button in the top right hand corner. That will take you directly over to the website. We have Jupiter, Venus conjunct Jupiter today. I think you saw that with the Virginia election. There were a lot of women that got elected. Venus represents women. Jupiter brings luck, abundance, fertility, growth. It was quite interesting to see yesterday, and we even elected the first transgender female politician ever in the history of the United States. So this is really about, I've been talking to you guys all year, last year, about Pluto and Capricorn and how it's about a change in power structure. Those old structures that were in place begin to crumble so that new structures can come up. And the way Pluto works is he does it from an underground level. All right. Sometimes it's unseen, but it's really the first time that Pluto actually came into Capricorn, the United States gained its independence from Britain. And then in the 1930s, that is how Hitler came to power and Mussolini. But we also saw the collapse of the stock market and the robber barons who were all in power and had all of the money. Everybody lost their damn money. And then those people who were most affected, then we had a president to come in and give us the New Deal, where they put America back to work, building a new country. And since Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, that's what Saturn wants us to do. He does it through trials and tribulations. But what his main lesson is about perseverance and determination. And he wants us to build something solid. So, and the reason why I bring that up is Saturn will be moving out of Sagittarius near the on December 22nd, but don't get too happy yet, because we go into Mercury's shadow phase, retrograde shadow phase, November 15th, and that will play out past the new year. So you may think it's a fresh start for you, and it may feel that way, but you want to wait until 2 weeks after Mercury goes back direct, and it will be going direct into, I think, the sign of Capricorn. So this is all about governments, money, retirements, structures, organizations. Lots of things are happening. And what happens on a global scale affects you on a personal scale. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get into the reading right now. One card has presented itself. I'm using the Impressionist Tarot. And I want to thank those of you who have already participated in the 20 for 20. You guys have really been keeping me busy. I would also like to tell you, I posted the transit watch for this week on Sunday, and then somebody contacted me and said, you know what, I can't find the page. And somehow or another, it ended up in the trash. So that tells me that this Mercury is going to be, because it's in conjunction with Saturn, it's going to be quite powerful as we move into the new year, or in this year. So let's turn over this card and see. We have the Knight of Wands. I'm going to give you the intuitive reading. Two of Swords, Three of Coins. That's interesting. And this is for the air sign, so this is going to cover all Gemini, Libra, and Aquarians. General reading. If you want to know more specifically about your situation, please come over to the website. I do have the one question 20 for 20. The Star, the Seven of Wands. Oh, here I have a Queen of Swords, a Page of Cups. I'm sorry, a Knight of Cups. The Lovers. And then the Moon. Holy smokes. So I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana. Underneath the deck, I have the the Nine of Wands. Can you see that? I have three major arcana. I have the star, the lovers, and the moon. The star represents the energy of, it represents the sign Aquarius, but it also is ruled by Venus, which is kind of weird if you think about it, but it represents the sign of Venus. This is about the humanitarian principles of love and beauty, okay? Because Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. He's the water bearer. And during the Roman times, it was the bathhouses where everybody came together. The bathhouses supported the community. So this is where both the rich and the poor came together to meet. And once they met in those particular venues, everybody was equal. Why? Because they were naked. We all the same underneath our clothes. So here we have the lovers, which is ruled by Mercury. And then we have the moon. So right in the center, I have this Seven of Wands. And everything else is kind of going on around it. Now, I don't see a lot of movement. What I see is a bunch of vacillation back and forth. And for some of you, this has already happened. For others of you, you may be coming up in the thick of it right now. And for the rest of you, will be playing out into December. And what I see is that for some of you, you may be struggling with a direction in which you wish to go. Some of you are looking back towards the past, looking over things in which you have been perhaps victorious or have given you some kind of achievement or some type of success. And you're trying, I don't want to say desperately, but you're trying to recapture that again. But here comes this Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups tells me that some new offer or some new message may have come in. And now you're kind of at a crossroads, okay? And the reason why I know it's a crossroads is because right in the center I have the Seven of Wands. And sevens represent some type of internal conflict or some type of hesitation on what it is that I really want to do or which direction am I really trying to go in, okay? Sevens also speak to a spiritual challenge. So for some of you, this could be about trying to make a determination between two decisions or two messages or two directions in which you feel spiritually that you want to go. What is the best direction for me? What really is going to be in my highest good? For some of you, this decision may come through an air sign female. There's our Queen of Swords, okay? And this is about someone who may come to you who has some great ideas. This could be someone from your past. Why do I say that? Because typically Mercury retrograde always brings people back from your past. This also kind of speaks to the idea of Sagittarius. We have this Wands card here and a Wands card here and a Wands card there. And so right now with Saturn in Sagittarius and Mercury in Sagittarius, what we're looking at is perhaps going back to school or launching some new publishing plan, a blog, a magazine, a website, some type of idea. This could also be and tied in with religion. It could also be some kind of legal issue in which you have a decision. Maybe someone has offered you a payout of some kind and you're trying to determine what is the best way to accept this payout and what do I do with it, okay? Or is it enough money for me? Or do I need to go back and try to renegotiate that thing? I would caution you to please be very, very careful as we come up on this Mercury retrograde in terms of signing any kind of contracts. If you have to sign, I mean, you can't stop living life because of a Mercury retrograde. So if you have to sign, read, double check, research the fine print before you put your signature on it. Because 9 times out of 10, if you just go ahead and sign it, for some reason that agreement doesn't go through or it falls through or the terms change. So I really want you guys to be extra special cautious. If this is about you launching a new project, going back to school, I want you to know that it could be that you sign up and you sign up for a particular class because there's a particular professor who is teaching it. And then you find out after the fact, well, guess what? He's not going to be teaching that class and you end up getting a different one. This could be about collaborating with someone at a distance on some kind of work project, and then you find out that maybe the information that you sent, the photos that you sent, the article that you sent got lost in the shuffle, or they tell you, no, that's really not what we want now. We've changed direction. We're doing something different. So please try to read the fine print and always use a Mercury retrograde. Any retrograde, anytime a planet's in retrograde, use that to revise, rework, review, look over your plans, tweak it a little bit, think about it. But again, if you have to go through with it, just be aware that there could be some changes, delays, things falling apart altogether, information missing, or there could be some changes in the terms and conditions of the contract. Now, I do sense this Seven of Wands in the center tells me that for many of you, you're kind of worried about, can you weather this storm, whatever it is that you're going through? And the answer is yes, you can. However, here's the Two of Swords, and twos always speak to choices, options, paths, dualities. And I can see that some of you are really struggling with, do I go back this way or do I join forces? Here's this Three of Pentacles. And threes are always about two things coming together to make a third thing, right? So this could literally be about some of you having a project coming due, or sometimes the Queen of Swords represents the sign of Libra. So this is definitely some new kind of partnership, whether it is a business relationship, a familial relationship, and or you know, partnership could be going into signing up and going back to college. Now you're in partnership with the university, or you're in partnership with the professor, whatever the case may be. And what we see is that you're being asked to be very, very cautious through this time, particularly with this Lover's card. The Lover's card is traditionally also about the choice between head and heart. But what the meaning of this card is that you are more attractive than you know. Now, that can either be a good thing or a bad thing. What are you putting out there? How are you seen? How are you viewed? If you are coming from a place of negativity, then what you are attracting in is negativity. So I really think this is about being very cautious about the way that you're thinking about what it is you're doing, or the way you feel about yourself. Maybe something didn't go the way you wanted it to. I mean, shit, sometimes that happens. So don't lament that. Try not to lament that and to stay in that particular energy. You're being asked to, here's the Moon card. And I think for some of you, this may have had to do with the full moon that we just had, which I can't remember what, Taurus, or it could be about the new moon coming up in Scorpio. But also be aware that the new moon will be changing signs from Scorpio into Sagittarius. What do we have in Sagittarius? Mercury going retrograde, and also Saturn. And eventually, no matter what your chart looks like, particularly Mercury going retrograde and Saturn will be making aspects in your chart. So this could be really just a time for you to trust what your intuition. Do not be fearful, but try to figure out, look, logic over emotion about this project that's coming in. Okay. Now, this Nine of Wands tells me that for some of you, this is going to be a time when perhaps this is the overall energy. And I think right now, many of you, if you're going through this, are struggling with feeling isolated and alone. Okay. The card that I really want to look at is this Moon card. And we have negotiations, or the pleasant conversations coming out. Mercury rules communications. Sagittarius is your message. So this is heavy Mercurian or Gemini and heavy Sagittarian energies. And for a lot of you, you may have your north and south nodes in those signs. Okay. I have gotten to the point now where before I try to do anything, I always check my chart to see what's coming up. I am offering a transit tutorial starting next week. I was going to try to start it on Monday, but I don't think I will be able to. So for those of you who might be interested, please stay tuned for the newsletter. For those of you who are not signed up, the newsletter is free. You can go over to the website and sign up to it. And I can give you some new dates. I'm going to have to change some things around. Amore, allegrezza al cuore. And for some of you, this is a romantic situation. Okay. For some of you, we just had Jupiter leave Libra. That brings about, like I was talking about, new partnerships. So for some of you, this could literally be about making a commitment or shacking up or getting married. If this is a legal issue and this is about a separation and or divorce, this says that, you know, there ultimately will be some kind of resolution. To me, that's like the Three of Cups. Okay. And here, this is Cupid. And Cupid is that sudden attraction, but it is not a deep attraction. His arrows do not wound very deeply. They are pretty much surface. But yet, Cupid is the son of Venus. And we have two cards of Venus here. Okay. So for some of you, this could be about suddenly meeting someone out of the blue, unbeknownst to you. Remember, be careful what you attract, because you're more attractive than you realize. So for some of this Knight of Cups here is a very fickle individual. He's a knight. For some of you, this could be about a choice between two potential lovers. Okay. And not knowing exactly what it is you want to do. So right now you're at a kind of a standstill. Well, that kind of covers the gamut of everything. I'm going to go ahead and pull cards on this Knight of Cups, because this is our future. And we can see that some offer or person or event occurs coming through Mercury. But there's this Moon card. And even though those are three positive cards on top of that Moon, it is a Mercury retrograde. So be cautious. This could be someone who's very wily with words and then will renege on whatever it is they told you. The lesson being that, you know, maybe it shows you something about, in terms of communication, your emotions, about what it is that you really want and desire, and or what it is you fear. The Moon can also speak to fear. The Single Man, A Message from Far Away, and the Discovery, or the Man of Letters or Science. So I do feel for some of you, this is a romantic situation where someone may be coming in. And for others of you, this could very well, because sometimes, you know, priests have to go to seminary school, so he could also be a scholar like the Hermit. So for some of you, this could be about joining forces with someone in a work situation. Your story is going to be particular to you, depending on what you have going on. And again, any more insight, you do need a personal reading. So that's what I have for you, air signs for November. I hope that message helped. And until next time, namaste.